Hello, fellow scholars and purveyors of morbid curiosities alike. I'm Dr. Caleb, joined by the man with the mind of an 8-year-old himself, Dr. Zach. And this is SCPod. Dr. Zach, how are you today?
Not too bad. I have a warrant out for my arrest because of the 8-year-old mine thing. Turns out you're not supposed to collect those.
Oh, yeah, I write those with with whatever in mind, and I totally forgot about the barbecue I had when I stumbled into your basement. I probably should. We'll fix it.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
We have an episode in front of us today. This one, we're not on Keter duty anymore. We both had our stint on Keter duty, and we are. Well, I mean, Zach, what are we covering today?
Today we are covering SCP-1680.
Okay. Well, do you want to go over the special containment procedures, Dr. Zach?
Yeah, sure. So, SCP-1680, Object Class Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. Site 33B is to be staffed with Foundation personnel trained in the reception and processing of SCP-1680 instances. Site 33B is disguised as the dilapidated former location of Mission High School. Civilians attempting to investigate the interior of Site 33B are to be given amnestic treatment and returned to their homes. Processing is to be followed by transport to Site 33 for relocation as determined by Site 33B Command or the Department of Human Resources. Any individuals inquiring into the anomalous behavior of SCP-1680-A are to be given amnestic treatment when possible. The Foundation is to attempt to acquire homes within the line of sight of the route of SCP-1680-A. There is an addendum for this one, interestingly enough. As of February of 2009, all human resources agents stationed at Site 33B are to be of level 4 rank or higher. Any Foundation personnel displaying insubordinate behavior in response to SCP-1680 processing and relocation orders are to be given amnestic treatment and reassigned.
Alright, well, interesting that the containment procedures have an addendum. I don't know. Have we seen an SCP with an addendum in the containment procedures?
I feel like if we did, it would have been the cakes. Because at one point those were safe.
I was thinking...
Or Euclid.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe the frogs, because, like, they were Euclid, then escalated to Keter, but, yeah, I feel like that was just an addendum in the description, not the... I don't know. Interesting. SCP-1680, is a very, unique SCP, as are all of them.
Mm-hmm.
SCP-1680 is a collection of nearly identical copies of an 8-year-old named Tyler Buchanan, who was reported missing on November 2nd, 2007. Each copy keeps the memory of the original and is genetically identical to other copies and the original kid. Genetically. Look, audience, you have to understand, we don't find very much personal enjoyment throughout our day, so whenever one of us can misspeak, it's, there's the myth of when somebody stutters in front of you, you have to slap the shit out of them. Here, we welcome it, because it's the only thing that breaks up the monotony.
Pretty much.
Each copy displays emotional distress when introduced to other copies, as would I if I was in that situation.
This is what I want to reiterate our policy of, if you see your double, you need to kill your double.
We'll get into that later. So let's talk about this bus. So SCP-1680-A is the bus, and it appears roughly 150 meters from Site 33B. It drives to the site drops off an instance of 1680, and then drives roughly 15 meters away and vanishes. The bus appears to appear and disappear spontaneously. And residents in the area do not seem to notice the anomalous behavior, and 1680 has no recollection of the bus ride whatsoever. 1680A resembles a Type A chassis short school bus, appears to be built by the Collins Bus Corporation 2005. No matching bus has ever been seen, and manufacturing information cannot be found. The windows are opaque, and nothing can be seen of the inside. And no personnel to climb aboard has ever been recovered.
Do we have any information on that bus specifically? Like, we have cameras outside 33B. Is like, do we have like a license plate number or anything like that?
I don't. Yeah. Oh. You know what? I'm rereading this real quick. So we have a bus number of 216756.
Oh shit!
With the license plate number 5PWD314.
Dr. Caleb. That's another SCP.
What?
That's 1480.
No way.
Yeah, it's another SCP. We gotta talk about it.
Okay, I'll humor you, Dr. Zach. We will go to the file room. We will go look at it real quick. But if this isn't actually an SCP, you owe me a cup of mediocre clam chowder from the coffee machine.
If I'm right, I'm giving you nuclear material.
Okay. Bet.
Bet.
Okay, just a little thing for the audience. We did find that 1480 is related to 1680 here. And thus, Dr. Zach will be acquiring a cup of nuclear material from the coffee machine. So this episode might be a little bit longer, but the bigger fear is I don't know what he is planning to do with said nuclear material. So
you're gonna drink it, enjoy your throat cancel, ass hat.
So for the sake of everybody, I am just going to read this SCP, and we're just gonna hope for the best. This could be the end of us. This could be the start of something beautiful. Who knows? Okay, well, SCP-1480, Object Class, Safe. Special Containment Procedures. The SCP-S Occam was presently instructed to maintain observation and communications with SCP-1480 on the surface of Titan, in addition to its regular geological duties. The fuck does it have to do with Titan? Like the moon?
I think so.
The distance and technological difficulties involved in reaching Titan serve as adequate containment, so long as the existence of SCP-S Occam remains a secret. Well, I guess that answers our question right there.
Is that special containment procedures is it as next to Saturn?
Which, I mean, like, does that mean that Jupiter's Great Red Spot is also safe in that? Never mind.
We don't need to get into that right now.
Yeah, that's saved for later and more theological distress. Only a handful of ESA personnel, vetted and briefed by Foundation liaisons, are to be informed of the existence and purpose of SCPS Occam. Select photographs of the surface of Titan have been doctored by Foundation personnel and provided to the ESA for publication. Photographs are doctored to remove the presence of SCP-1480. SCPS Occam is to continue attempting to establish contact with SCP-1480 and any entities inside of SCP-1480.
Can we just dwell on a second? Like, imagine if you have like a telescope or something, and you look at the moon, and you just see like an ice cream truck just parked on the moon.
Right.
Can you imagine?
I'm trying to wrap my head around how this can be related. Like, obviously, I did a brief overview of this article when I lost my bet, but we're just talking about a school bus.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, there's a change log on this one.
Yeah. So, SCP-1480 is a 2004 Bluebird model Type C school bus with all typical school bus external markings removed other than the number 64. And it's currently resting on the surface of Titan. Okay. Based on physical markings and details, SCP-1480 is believed to be either a Weakley County school district school bus declared missing on 11/2/07 from Dresden Elementary School, or a carefully crafted replica thereof. Okay,
wait,
now this is starting to catch on a little bit.
Caleb?
What?
Does the name Dresden Elementary School ring any bells for you? I've heard this name before.
I'm sure it's nothing. We'll come back to it. We have too much to already. Yeah.
Yeah. Why don't you read this off, and I'm gonna go back upstairs real quick.
Oh, okay. Okay. Hi, audience. It's just Dr. Caleb now. And yeah, he's gone. No explanation has yet been determined for the temporal discrepancy between the bus's disappearance and the discovery of SCP-1480. Well, yeah, that makes sense. Like, it disappeared from Earth and now it's on Titan? What the heck? Anyway, SCP-1480's windows are opaque. No light of any wavelength can be seen through them. Additionally, ultrasound imaging of the object's interior is inconclusive. Periodically, flashing lights can be seen emanating from the windows of 1480. These were detected frequently before the Occam landed on Titan, but have since become extremely rare. These flashes can be deciphered into Morse code messages. How the entity is familiar with Morse code protocols is unknown. Judging from phrasing and the varying speeds of the flashes, different windows seem to speak from different but consistent perspectives or voices. The flashing lights can be translated into English via Morse code. A log of recorded messages can be found in Addendum 1480A. Okay. So we have an addendum here. There seems to be a good amount of communications, and there's dates. So I guess we'll just go through them real quick.
Yeah,
welcome back,
let's finish back. Yeah. Go ahead and finish the addendums, and we'll go from there.
Oh, okay. The SCPS Occam is currently deployed on the surface of Titan as part of an unrelated scientific exchange program led between several high-level officials within the European Space Agency, NASA, and the Foundation. Under the terms of that agreement, NASA-ESA provided the interplanetary vehicle and gave the Foundation final control over the vehicle's mission parameters in exchange for certain technological enhancements from the Foundation, and the ability to access and use all non-sensitive scientific data from the mission.
Well, wait a minute, like, we can just give stuff to NASA and the European Space Agency, but, like, we still can't get a camera for the bed?
Well, I mean, they provided it. We just
Mother!
do.
No, like
Yeah.
like you just read it. We gave him technology, like, and it's yeah, and it's exchanged for certain technological enhancements. Assholes.
It's the sweet foot meat fajitas.
No, that is the
That's
technological enhancement.
yes, yes. Okay, so the Occam detected the presence of SCP-1480 from a distance of several thousand kilometers away. From a distance, the Occam could detect SCP-1480 and the flashing lights outside the object. The Occam made landfall on 140105. Wait a second. British alert.
That might be right. These are euros.
I know it makes sense in terms of like day, month, year, but I mean when you say January 14th, 2005, it just I am sorry to our European audience. I will not conform. I will not drink the
This is
Kool-Aid.
America. This is America. We judge our time based on the number of times we've heard the eagle caw that day.
Are we even in America right now?
You know, after 9/11, who knows?
The Occam made landfall on January 14th, 2005. The flashing lights within SCP-1480 ceased at that time. Since then, the lights have resumed at periodic intervals. Selected excerpts of communications recorded from SCP-1480 are listed as follow. Okay, so date number 1 is again British. It is what is that? January 11th, 2005. Beginning at 0232 hours, all windows became briefly active for a period of 90 seconds. Because windows can only be seen from one side of the bus at a time, not all parts of a given conversation could be heard, quote unquote, at any given time. Content of messages recorded consists largely of short declarative sentences such as, "Nuh-uh, you can't do that, and I am telling." At 234 hours, I think that's how you say that, the windshield flashed the message, "Settle down back there," and all windows ceased flashing. That's...
Again for the audience, this bus is on the moon of Triton. Or on the moon of Titan.
That's peculiar. Okay. Several windows... the date on this one is January 13th, 2005. Several windows towards the back of the starboard side of the bus begin flashing in apparent conversation with one another. The rearmost window asks, "Why did Tyler not get on the bus?" To which the window immediately in front of it replies, "He was chosen by the sender. The Claw." The first window... the first window replies, deciphered literally, with "Aw, man," followed by a series of complaints about the unidentified entity referred to as the sender. The third window from the rear flashes, "Who is the sender?" followed by a pause believed to be a reply from a window on the other side of the bus. At the end of that pause, the windshield flashed, "What have you done?" The windshield remained illuminated at the end of that sequence. All windows between the windshield and the back of the bus began flashing on and remaining on until the lights reached the back of the bus. The windows at the back of the bus flashed a series of distress messages until the line of steadily illuminated windows reached the back of the bus, at which point the two windows at the back of the bus flashed on as well. All windows then became dark. Those two windows and another on the other side of the bus have not been observed to light up at any point since. Okay. That's mildly distressing. I don't know how I should feel about a elder entity maybe eating the souls of children on a school bus on Titan.
It's either that or the bus, like the school bus has the dead lights from it.
Oh, yeah. I don't even know. Okay,
What do we
the
do
last
with
log
this,
I have
man?
here. Yeah, this is... I just wanted to talk about identical copies of an 8-year-old kid. I didn't want to contemplate the existence of moon men. Okay, so the last log I have here is once again British, and it is January 14th, 2005. This is a day after. SCPS Occam made landfall around 2201. Prior to beginning orbital landing maneuvers that took the Occam's cameras off of SCP-1480, the windows nearest the Occam began flashing messages such as, "Do you see that? What is that? And is that my mommy?" As the Occam approached the surface of Titan, these messages began occurring with greater frequency. However, once the Occam made contact with Titan, the windows of SCP-1480 flashed bright white once, and then black. As the Occam began its survey of SCP-1480, the only response it received from the entity was the windshield occasionally flashing, "They are not yours." This has been the only significant signal received from SCP-1480 since the Occam's landfall. For information regarding additional anomalous events connected to 1480, please consult documentation for 1680 and SCP-13.
You know when I said that Dresden sounded familiar? I'll take it away. I have the file here. SCP-1380, Object Class Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. The building containing SCP-1380-A has been closed to the public and is to be guarded covertly by a minimal security detachment, Delta 1380, to prevent break-ins and the discovery of 1380-A. Delta 1380 is to prevent unauthorized entry into the building containing SCP-1380-A when possible. However, because the building containing SCP-1380-A is located in a residential area, the commander of 1380 Delta is authorized to allow unauthorized entry into the building if it is believed necessary to prevent the detachment's presence from becoming visible from the neighboring houses. All unauthorized individuals are to be incapacitated and administered amnestic treatments. Break-in attempts have been more frequent in recent years due to urban legends surrounding the building. Area 216 has been constructed around the location of SCP-1380-B under the guise of archaeological exploration site. No unauthorized personnel are to be permitted within Area 16 under any circumstances. Members of Delta 1380 Members of Delta 1380 are permitted to explore SCP-1380-B when it exists at SCP-1380-A. Oh no. Research. For those playing along at home, whenever you have a location that's reported to exist only occasionally, you know you're going to be in for a bad time. Just throwing it out there in my experience.
Like the socks in your dryer.
Like the socks in your dryer or the foot of the bed. Research into SCP-1380's transitory phenomena is to continue. However, under no circumstance is the SCP-1380-C to be operated by any personnel above D class, and remote methods of operating SCP-1380-C are preferred to the attrition rate of 100%. Good lord. Anyone who touches the goddamn thing dies. What the hell? Description, I guess.
Wow. Okay. We're just...
Why did we do this to ourselves, Caleb?
You know,
We didn't...
I've never even heard of Tyler before, like, like 2 weeks ago, right? And I just got a random note on my desk, which, I mean, here at the Foundation, like, that is kind of the way that everybody talks to each other, is they just leave anonymous notes on your desk. And it just said, cover Tyler.
And then we have the Google Tyler.
Is this the, like, are we being disciplined?
You know, this is still better than the sculpture.
Oh yeah, I'll take yeah, that over.
Anyway, drink. Anyway, Dr.
Yeah.
Caleb. Anyway, drink your nuclear material. Description: SCP-1680 is the phenomenon centered around the former multipurpose science lab at Dresden Elementary School in Dresden, Tennessee. 1380A is the space within the elementary school that is formerly contained, that used to contain the science lab, labeled on diagrams as Room 16. 1380B is a remote location on the peninsula of Baja California, which anyone looking at a map currently will tell you is nowhere near Tennessee. And then there's some coordinates given here. And 1380 Charlie is a plastic light switch installed against the wall of the former science lab at Dresden Elementary School. This switch was present within the lab and otherwise ordinary prior to the development of 1380's SCP anomalous properties. When 1380C is set to on, the elementary school science lab located on 1380A, which again is the elementary school. Who wrote this article? God damn it.
I know, like, just simplify it. When the light switch is set to on, like, come on, guys, we might be researchers.
Okay, so anyway, when it's on, the science lab is in the elementary school, and the room can be entered in by the door in the elementary school, room 16, and displays no real interesting properties from there. All windows display the expected view of the area outside the building. During these periods, B, which is the one in California, B for Baja, that's great, appears to be a normal desert region and displays no anomalous properties. When Charlie, the light switch is set to off, the elementary school lab located then is at the B site in Baja California. A section of the ground at 1380B is replaced with the floor of the lab, upon which sits the tables, desks, and other furniture within the lab. The plumbing and electrical fixtures that should be located within the walls of the lab, including 1380C, are suspended in midair. So wait, you're just walking along the desert and you just see like
a light
the nervous system of a class. Well, no, like all the plumbing and the fixtures, and so like you just see the nervous system of like, imagine like having X-ray vision and like just seeing all the fixtures and wiring and pipes.
We get to see his cardiovascular system.
Right. Oh. Lab, including SCP, are suspended in midair around 1380B, though the concrete walls themselves are not present.
Interesting.
Excavations to date suggest there is no terminal point to the geographic displacement below the ceiling of 1380. The displayed region, or the displaced region, continues at least 400 meters beneath the surface of the phenomenon. So it's not even just the classroom, but also like the earth, the dirt, the rock, and the clay beneath it for nearly half a kilometer, and may continue down to the Earth's core. Ooh. While 1380B is occupied with the Dresden Science Lab, 1380A takes on the appearance of a nebulous black region. Any matter that crosses the threshold into 1380A during this time is inexplicably lost. The region neither emits nor reflects any light or energy at any measurable wavelength. Likewise, while inorganic materials present within the elementary school lab are capable of surviving the transition from A to B without any noticeable damage, any organic matter within the space of the lab disappears when SCP-1380C is flipped. So that's what they're talking about, why they only use D-class for that switch.
Right.
Because if you're standing in it, you're just gone.
Teleport to Titan, I guess.
Like I don't know. Like, you're neither in Tennessee nor Mexico, so therefore you do not exist. Which, someone smarter than me can do something with.
Yeah,
I cannot.
there's a joke there.
There's a joke there somewhere. There are stranger philosophies in Tennessee and Mexico than can be explained by our strange philosophy. The transit from A to B is as close to instantaneous as can be presently determined using modern equipment. This has been confirmed both within the science lab and by observers on both sides outside the lab. And there is an addendum. Background. No anomalous events were reported at the elementary school multipurpose science lab prior to... I'm realizing now that it's not November 2nd. It's February 11th, 2007. I don't know. Was this written... What side of the Atlantic was this written on? I don't know. At some point in 2007, this was determined that there was no anomalous properties. The precise time of the initiation of extranormal behavior related to 1380 is unknown, and the room was used normally throughout the day and has no unusual events were noticed by any witnesses during the first through fourth block, ending at about 2:45 or 1400. Additionally, due to an unscheduled school closing related to the disappearance of a school bus, along with several students at the same day, the school was closed for several days afterward. SCP-1680 was first discovered by custodial staff in 2007, later on that year. Maybe the same week or whatever. One custodian was lost, and another experienced spontaneous amputation of the left hand during an attempt to enter 1380A. So, yeah, don't touch that light switch. Foundation personnel investigated the area as the Department of Human Services inspection team discovered 1380 and closed the school under the pretense of having found serious structural flaws within the building. Asbestos. Students were redirected to other schools throughout the county, while Vincent Sender Elementary School was constructed in memory of a science teacher who has not been seen again since the... Oh. Not Mr. Sender. Do you think he's on the moon?
Do I think he's on the moon?
Like, they have to go somewhere, right? Do you think he's on the bus?
I don't know.
I don't know. I have fucking no idea. Foundation researchers believe that he was lost within 1380 at some point. A cover story was crafted that explained his disappearance as a fatality during the, quote, terrorist attack that, quote, destroyed Bus 64 on that day. More information regarding the anomalous events involving the school bus, please consult documentation 1480, which is the bus. Regarding an additional anomalous event connected to 1380, please consult documentation for 1680. Thank you, good night, back to Tyler.
Oh my goodness. Okay, well, we're 3-in-1 episode this week, I guess.
Fucking hell.
At least it sounds like we finished the circle. Now we can get right back to Tyler. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, you just read that article. I'll finish the rest of the description over here, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see here. I gotta get, like, right back to the... Okay, so, I'm looking back at the description real quick, and, looks like we covered all of the description for Tyler already. For those of you just tuning in, SCP-1680 is Tyler, and Tyler is a little boy, 8 years old, who was lost from Dresden Elementary School back in 2007, I believe.
Yeah.
Which, now that I think about it, all the events regarding on Titan happened in 2005.
Yeah. Really?
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Tyler is driven to the school every single day. No. He's driven to Site 33B.
Yep.
Yes. And he is dropped off, and then the bus goes and disappears. And then a few hours later, a new Tyler will be dropped off. And we just keep getting these Tylers. We have no idea. Yeah, they're terrified of each other, and they're dropped off every few hours by some anomalous bus that can teleport that may or may not be coming from Titan, and may or may not have been sent there by a interdimensional portal from a science lab that also goes to Taco Bell's Baja Blast.
And this all may or may not be at the direction of a mysterious sender that is some sort of paranormal entity.
Yes. Okay, we're caught up. Addendum 1680-1, Acquisition Log. So, Tyler Buchanan was last seen leaving Dresden Elementary School in Tennessee at 3 p.m. on, well, I have in my notes here November 2nd, 2007, but it could also be February 11th, 2007. Thank you, British.
Nobody knows.
Tyler was supposed to get on the bus number 64 to go to daycare, but no one saw him on the bus. Instead, 2 teachers recall seeing him recalled into the school to go pick up a science report card.
Mr. Sender.
The bus was never located or recovered, and the science lab started exhibiting anomalous properties.
Yeah, it did.
A cover story claims Tyler Buchanan and all students aboard bus number 64 were the victims of a terrorist attack.
In rural Tennessee.
No, it was actually on Titan.
The terrorists of Titan.
The Attack on Titan theme song plays.
Write this down. We're making our new B movie.
The
Not
first
the
specimen...
biker werewolves from hell attack the children of Titan.
The first specimen of SCP-1680 appeared approximately 30 minutes later at a Lambda 33 warehouse. Wait a second.
We're not talking about them today. But keep moving.
Okay, for those along reading at home, there is a group of interest in this article called the Mana Charitable Foundation. We're not going to talk about them right now. Just know they exist. They are like the B team Avengers, and they're not worth talking about right now. Anyway.
Also worth pointing out, if you are reading this along at home, the MTF is on its way.
Yeah. Yeah, I never thought about that. Are we subjecting everybody to, like, mimetic kill agents?
I like to think at this point in the year of our Lord 2024 that we've all probably been anesthetized at least once.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, so the first specimen was dropped off approximately 30 minutes after the bus disappeared. The first Tyler was thought to be the original kid. He was given amnestics and sent home. But then 6 hours later, another Tyler showed up. Since 2008, over 2,400 copies of Tyler are currently being held. The Foundation started using copies of Tyler as D-class. What?
Hold up. I'm sorry. I have a copy of the file in my hand here. It's worth pointing out that after these duplicates, the first duplicate, so the second Tyler showed up. Both instances were then detained again, and so we just introduced the kid back to his parents, and then just kidnapped his ass right back.
Do you think there was a second terrorist attack?
What is going on in rural Tennessee? This is getting ridiculous.
Okay, so there's a lot going on with this SCP. The first of which is they have so much. I'm reading the addendum right now, addendum 1682, relevant memoranda, and it seems to be a chain of letters to the O5 Council from Site-33. And they're like, hey, there are so many little 8-year-olds here, and we're running out of room. Some of them are induced into chemical comas, other of which are dying and just being burned. But we need something to do with these. And then the O5 Council seems to be saying something about how we're going through D-Class, like, a lot.
Yeah.
And
yeah, because that light switch member has a 100% kill rate.
Well, yeah, and it's to all site commands, so it's not even just the light switch. Like, it's just like the probably 60 that we have to feed to 682 every day.
Wait, like, is this the point where like the O5 Council is just being like, no one wants to work anymore?
Goddamn millennials being too lazy.
Yeah, like, and bear in mind, for everyone else, D-Class are usually taken from prisoners, and so if you really want to help out the Foundation out, go out there and start committing crimes. We'll call you.
Yeah. If you want to know more about D-Class, please reference Episode 4 of Season 1, labeled New Hire Orientation, where we were promptly sent to a killing chamber afterwards.
Would you like to know more? Generally, no.
Okay, so the final thing on this addendum is the Site-33 command basically saying, hey, we have all these 8-year-old boys. They seem to be chemically the same as every other human on Earth, just, weak, because they're 8 years old. What if we use those as D-Class? So, yeah, so it sounds like the Foundation may or may not be using 8-year-olds as guinea pigs.
Well, I mean, specifically if you know what they're using D-Class for 1380s to turn that light switch on and off. And so, like, we just basically have a very efficient way of killing 8-year-olds now.
Yeah. Okay.
That's great.
So,
good job, guys.
Last little thing here. Dr. Jones, director of Site-33, has been promoted to level 5. Changes in training and orientation for 1680 instances put into effect in some British date in 2009. For more information regarding... okay, same footnote there. I just want to make sure we're not missing anything. This episode's going to sound a little rough, but we're rolling with the punches. So, finally, the footnotes of this. Due to similarities to SCP-3477, a direct link between the two phenomena is under investigation.
Caleb, do you want to step outside for a second?
Yeah. I'll meet you out there.
Okay. Yeah.
We are not doing this. But it's literally in the footnotes. I got places to be, man. Look, if it's related, we owe the audience an explanation of everything. We'll cover next recording session. It'll be its own thing. It'll be like a direct sequel. SCP-1680 First Blood Part 3. Okay. I'm with you. I don't want to. I think our episode's already bad enough. I think we just send it out. We edit it or whatever, send it to the sender, and we'll cover whatever this SCP is next week. Works for me.
And we're back. Thanks for waiting, everybody.
Yeah, so there's another SCP associated with this, and we thought it would be a great thing to let it be its own episode, because that way we do the SCP justice, and you guys don't have to try to fathom 4 SCPs at the same time. So really, we're doing this for you. So be
You're
sure
welcome.
to thank us by liking and subscribing to the channel. Final footnote here.
Yeah, I was going to read that too.
Final footnote here. Information from the Collins Bus Corporation suggests that the bus was stolen from the manufacturing lot shortly after completion.
So we're gonna add Grand Theft Auto to the list of crimes committed in the SCP.
Yeah.
What the fuck? What was this?
I
What did we walk
don't
into?
even... Yeah. This was so much more than I ever could have expected.
Yeah, like, I feel like there's a lesson here about, like, when you're dealing with as many anomalous things as the Foundation deals with on a regular basis, that you're eventually, you're every so often going to come across one that just cuts just a really wide swath across different entries, different anomalies, weird interactions, and stuff like that. And so, like, I feel like running into this sort of thing was going to be inevitable. I just didn't think it was something like this.
Dr. Zach, do you have clearance level to amend SCP articles?
No, not after last time.
I guess we'll submit something. I think this could all be one SCP, and it could
Maybe.
easily just be the SCP is the sender.
Right, but we know nothing about the sender, and so, like, it'd be an SCP-55 situation.
Oh, what? Anyway, what do you make of this SCP? What?
I think it's interesting because, like, you have almost like a puzzle box in that you have three seemingly unrelated incidents that would be evocative enough on their own, but when you take them all together, it's like that Ant-Man meme where he's just like, what the hell happened here?
Yeah.
Like, I want to try and, like, draw some conclusion about it, but what do we really know? Like, we have an anomalous school bus, and we have an anomalous classroom, and
We have an anomalous kid.
I want to... That's what I'm saying, though. Is, like, I think Tyler is almost a side effect of the bus interplaying with the school. And I don't know... It's a chicken and egg situation. I don't know which one became anomalous first. Like, the bus we found in 2005... And then everything else happened in 2007. So I almost want to say, like, the bus is related to the sender, which caused all this. And so, like, if we're drawing, like, a line of causality, that we almost have to start with the bus, and everything else comes from there. But, like, I have zero proof for that. But I do feel like it definitely came first, just from the ESA logs.
Yeah. I mean, it's really interesting that they're talking about the sender, and then all of a sudden, like, we find out that there's a science teacher named Sender. Cause
I didn't even pick up on that.
Yeah, and then, like, he went missing at the same time as all these kids. But then for some reason,
right.
2 years earlier, before this incident happened, we find a school bus on Titan that is both referencing Tyler, the bus, the number 64, and the sender.
And this is a good example for the audience of what a Euclid entry can kind of mean, is that Euclid is a fancy way of saying, like, we generally don't know what's going on here.
Right.
And boy, is this a Euclid-ass SCP.
Yeah, I just don't even...
When I was reading it, I didn't even put two and two together about the sender and the teacher, Mr. Sender.
Yeah. I picked up on it, and I was
wild.
like, it's so out there. Like, because you'll remember in the Tyler article as well, two teachers recall seeing him when he had to go pick up a report card from a science teacher.
But then, like, they couldn't find the science teacher afterwards, and so, like, was he consumed by, 1380C or 1380C when it went to the void state?
Yeah, or
was he already gone?
Well, okay, so if this is the same person, the sender person is the same as the science teacher, and they went missing in 2007, but then in 2005 we see it referenced on Titan. There must be some sort of, like, time anomaly going on, as well as teleportation, and like there's a lot of things going on with this.
Yeah, I mean, like, I know in certain fields of, like, physics, time and space are viewed as similar enough. And so maybe there's something there, but I don't have... My doctorate isn't in physics. So I would just be speculating. I feel like that'd be a really great question for someone else to answer, but, man, like, thinking about it makes my head hurt.
Yeah. You know, when I first thought about doing this episode, when I got that note, I thought we were just going to cover and talk about identical 8-year-olds, and like we'd have some jokes about feeding them to a furnace and stuff like that, and be morbid, and you know how we always do, you know.
Yeah,
but
it's be fun.
This is almost like a novel. There's a story going on here.
Right, it's a story for people smarter than us.
Very much so. And you know, we're researchers, but at the end of the day, we're just podcast boys. And
yeah. And
yeah,
next week we gotta talk about like a fucking Australian Prime Minister. I don't know.
I don't know anything about 3477, so but yeah, Zach, do you have anything else to say about this? I feel like we talked way over our allotment.
I'm done with Tyler. This. Yeah, no, I'm good.
You know, the only remaining question. I mean, there are so many questions associated with this, but you know, there was that anomaly on the bus where they asked about the sender, and then all of a sudden, all the lights inexplicably slowly crept towards the back of the bus, and then the 2 back seats and one other one just stopped lighting up ever again. And that's really curious to me.
Yeah, they woke Daddy.
Yeah, so there's a lot going on here, and this might be the only episode that I would love to revisit if we ever got more information, because there's something going on here.
Yeah, let's put a pin in this, and that if we ever find anything that relates back to 1680, that we'll give it a look and then come back on it and see if we can't like puzzle out some wider theory about what's going on here. Because
wait,
it's like
Zach.
What?
We started this episode talking about SCP-1680. We veered off and did 1480 and 1380.
Yeah.
We should go check to make sure 1580 doesn't have anything to do with this.
Sure. Let's run upstairs real quick.
Oh, thank fuck. Holy shit.
Yep, we're good.
Oh my god. Okay. For the folks at home, we just found out 1580 has absolutely nothing to do with Tyler. Has absolutely nothing to do with interdimensional school buses. There's nothing to do with
the moon
Baja Blasts.
Or the moon of Titan.
So, yeah, we'll cover 1580 at some other time, but I'm kind of fucking
not today. Done. Yep, I'm ready to move on with my life.
Yeah. Yeah, I got nothing else. Please leave your comments down below about what you think is going on here. Because I got nothing. You know what? I just looked over real quick. Bus number 64, SCP-1480, is a different type of bus. It's not the Collins Bus Foundation or Corporation. It's a Bluebird.
I want to like, maybe that's just sloppy article writing.
Okay. Well, you know what? My brain's already fried enough. Zach, show yourself. Where can they find you?
They can find me at makeawritingcheck.blogspot.com for at the time of this episode releasing, I will likely be switching from every weekend to twice a month release schedule for new pieces of short fiction, usually horror or science fiction themed. Or they may find me on my YouTube channel of Roll for Writing Presents for monthly transcripts and readings of various spooky materials.
Great, love it. You can find me at Calica1738 on Twitter and Instagram. And more importantly, you can find the podcast on Twitter at SCPod_cast. You can find it on Instagram at SCPod.cast. Right now, we are currently available on Spotify and YouTube. And I say at the end of every episode, it really does help. Please like, subscribe, rate, follow, all of those things that every YouTuber and podcaster ever says. It really does help our analytics and help us reach other people. Yeah. And
also tell your weird friends about us.
Please do. And yeah, next week we'll be covering SCP-3477. Looking forward to that. And yeah, we'll see you next time.
Yep, and before we go, Stan from Accounting says hi.